Can you please tell us how Axumites came about, or you know, why did you feel to put this, and why did you feel the need to put this band together? Or, you know,
Yeah, sure. The reason Axumites came together was because I've been working with some Ethiopian musicians in Dub Colossus and some UK musicians and a Bengali bass player, and I'm half Greek, and so it's a fairly mixed up band. But I started my career playing in a mixed band at the time of Ska with Michael Riley and Winston, and we were a mixed band. In those days there weren't very many mixed bands, and now it's not an issue. Then was unusual. And we learned an awful lot about the truth about the country we lived in by being in a mixed band and touring the country. And I think we played 180 shows in 9 months at one point. I was just living on the motorway, going up and down the motorway and doing support tours with Third World and well, all sorts. John Martin, bizarre things. As well as playing with the Selector and bands like that, supporting them. And we had our run-ins with various people, as you can imagine. And after this time of working with Dub Colossus, on the latest Dub Colossus album we've done a cover of Sata Masagana by the Abyssinians, and I asked Michael to come in and sing it, and Sedenya sang the Amharic parts and Michael sang the original Jamaican English parts. And that reminded me of how much I enjoyed working with Michael, and how much I really enjoyed that style of reggae from the 70s, which is obvious, that's partly what Dub Colossus is about. But I thought it would be nice to actually form a band that could take that further and maybe take what we were doing at that time, which was the early 80s, and represent it in the context of now. As you can hear, babies crying, police, sirens, riots going on in King's Cross. That's a lie, but anyway. But the thing is that there is a need for that, and it's a very enjoyable form of music for me. But rather than being a museum piece, a lot of kids that I've met, a lot of kids of my friends go, "Oh, I don't like reggae, I don't like dubstep, and I don't like it." And I play them some of the stuff that I've been doing, and they go, "Oh, well, that's nice, but that's not like dubstep." And that's like, well, actually, dubstep comes from that. Yeah. And everything, you know, you want to dig a bit deeper and make the journey. So I thought, well, why not present the journey? Michael Riley's a really good singer and writer, and Still Pulse were one of my favourite English reggae bands. Handsworth Revolution was a groundbreaking album, and still one of my favourites. As well at their best, Matumbi. There was a whole English reggae scene that nobody recognised as being very important. And I thought this deserves some attention. For instance, Still Pulse toured with Bob Marley and the Wailers early on, and as far as I know, they were the English reggae band to tour with the Wailers. I could be wrong, but to my knowledge they are. They also toured with the Stranglers, so they were the first reggae band to go touring with a punk band. And that's what I want to get back to, kind of mixing it up a bit, but also making social comment in such a way and observation that is enjoyable. Because let's face it, it's bad times and it's difficult times. A lot needs to be said, and personally, I can't help it. I haven't mellowed any with age. I feel just as strongly about what I felt then as I do now. And most of the people I know are the same. So I think that the whole idea of forming the Axumites was to make a group with an age range from 16 to 60 that covers a lot of different areas, but is more to do with a celebration of British reggae and its influence on pop music, but not just reggae, but everything that influenced reggae as well, jazz and R&B, and try and do something interesting, basically, somewhere between the Specials and Dizzy Rascal and Dub Colossus and Aswad Matumbi and I don't know, Groove Armada, I don't know, just everything bunched together. I mean, it's a weird set of things to lump together, yeah, that's why the Axumites is formed. Because there isn't anyone doing that I know about anymore, and there isn't anyone covering the history. And I think it's a big story to tell, and it can be very enjoyable. Of course, I also want to go to the South Seas and record an album in the Pacific, but that's another thing altogether. I hope that answers the question.
Nice.